All right, today we're at the Winter Park store. We're here checking out all the display tanks, and I got this SPS tank. This 180 is looking phenomenal. So I figured why not do a video with Josh about this tank. So follow me inside. I'm gonna show you everything about this 180-gallon SPS tank. Let's go check it out. Come on. This tank has some little nostalgia.
Yeah.
This was the first upgrade of our first farm. And the dimension of this tank, it is amazing to me. It's just something about like a rectangular box almost, right? It's something about it.
So it's 5 by 3 by 18.
By 18, like 200 gallons, something like
180.
that? 180.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So anyhow, this tank has been running here in Winter Park for about 5.5 years. Gen 4 lights.
No, Gen 6.
So we upgraded this
It's an
tank.
upgrade, yeah.
So we upgraded this tank. And we got 5 of them. I figure we got 5 in the back. We got an overflow box. No need for the light back there.
Yep.
Lots of flow in here.
4 MP4.
4 MP40s. And it seems like it's plenty for a tank this size. Obviously, it's shallow.
It's probably too much. We were actually just talking about switching to gyres, maybe.
Yeah. Too much flow, huh?
Well, it's hard for the Acros as they get taller.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. It's just hard to deliver the right flow in here. Acro dominated. Some chalices. Zoas here on the bottom. So what do you like the best about this tank, Josh?
I like the fact that it's deep from front to back.
Right? You can let you play different aquascape,
Yeah,
different landscape.
If you look at it from a different angle, you get an entirely different view. But I mean, aside from that, the fact that it's all stonies, it's kind of calling to me. This tank gets weekly water changes, just like everything else here, and anywhere between 10 and 15%. It runs 2-part on a doser. It runs Kalkwasser consistently 24/7 on a doser.
Okay.
And then they run a AB Plus, or is that
Yeah,
what it's
AB
called?
Plus, yeah. From Red Sea.
From Red Sea.
Okay.
Yep.
And you know what they feed on the tank?
Yeah, just like everything else here, we use pretty much spirulina brine and mysis shrimp.
And on a tank like this, do you know what parameters they aim to keep on this specific tank?
Yeah, just like Wea's tank, they shoot for a 9 elk.
Okay.
They shoot for 0.1 or under
All right.
on the phosphates, 5 to 10 on the nitrates, and then calcium 440, magnesium under 1500.
So we noticed in my specific tank, we went from alkalinity used to be 7.5 to 8.5. It was like more on the lower side. And the minute that we went to a different location, I'm sure the pH went up. We started dosing with the A and B on top of the Kalkwasser.
Mm-hmm.
And alkalinity went up to like 9.5, 10, and we saw exponential faster growth.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with the fact that it wasn't all stuffy and full of carbon dioxide in your office.
I'm sure, buddy. This tank, we were talking about, these tanks need a makeover. This is a prime example of it. If you guys can see the zoanthus here, that literally got nowhere to grow anymore. The Montipora went outside of his disc. This Montipora have grown on the floor. You got stuff all over the floor here. In between there, the Acros there, they're already fighting for space. And a lot of these corals, we already have duplicates of them on many display tanks. Sometimes you say, I'm gonna take care of tomorrow, next week, and we get busy doing other things and we never get to it. So this is the last time you guys are gonna see this video. We're coming back within a few weeks. Me, Josh, and JW. We're gonna get a bunch of stuff out of here and we're gonna grow a bunch of new acroporas that we have. We've been working on a new batch for what, about 6 months?
Yeah, it's about that.
So wild batch we got 6 months ago. We got over 100 acroporas. We picked the best 60 out of that. We've been quarantining them, cooking them, and I figured we can bring a bunch of those here. So perfect example, nothing wrong with this tank. It's doing amazing, but we have to. The same thing has been going for 5.5 years. Time to put something new, right?
It is. I'm sure after 5 years of having the same looking tank here, they'd be excited for something new too, right?
Yeah, they need something new always, just something new and exciting to keep you busy, keep your brain, what's the word I'm looking for? Stimulate.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's a nice tank. I mean,
I love it.
look what you said. We could do a nice, really low aquascape and get that really cool depth effect.
Change the flow a little bit, just play with it, add a few new fish possibly. So what's some of your favorite corals in here, Josh?
Hollywood Nights Johnny is a crowd winner. The WD 10 US is another crowd winner.
Yes. Doesn't get old, right?
No, not really.
To me, this patch of zoas here, it's not how nice the zoas are, but the contrast that we did, it is just perfect. No one color is next to the other one being the same. And I think that is just perfect.
I like I like these when they grow like this anyway. Normally they've got a really long stalk on them.
Yeah.
But it's high flow and high light. So you can see they've adapted. But that coral under blue light is so electric green and so electric pink. It's like really hard to compete against any other zoanthid.
So Josh, anything else worth mentioning for people watching at home about this tank?
Well, I can tell you one of our struggles with the tank originally was when these tanks were built, they were 3 1-inch overflow holes. So it's got 3 1-inch bulkheads in it. In order to deliver the flow properly with the return, we ended up coming over the back corner. Kind of ugly.
Yeah.
But it was a really good fix because it gave us the ability to utilize those drains better.
Yeah, we've done that trick better.
And it really made a big difference for this tank.
I shouldn't say we've done that trick better. We've done that trick before, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only way. You basically, for those of you watching at home, most people will understand. But if you don't understand what we're talking about, inside the overflow box, you get usually 1 return.
Yeah, the old marine land tanks were the best.
Yeah, 1 return, 1 drain.
Yep.
Right? But if you need extra drain, why not use that second pipe as an extra drain? It's just extra volume.
Yeah.
So if that pipe is 20% bigger, you got 20% more volume now. So same idea here. So Josh, some of the fish in here. Big old DiGiardini cellophane.
The DiGiardini is really nice. These black snowflakes or whatever you call them are super nice.
Isn't it hard just to keep track of all these clowns nowadays?
Yeah.
Because different people breed similar styles, but they call them their own names, not their own brands.
Yeah, but in the same breeder, you'll have one type and then another type that are so close that if you get a variant in the pattern from one to the next, it's easily mistaken for one or the other.
I can see that, for sure.
Blonde naso.
Blonde naso.
Yep, we got Kupang damsels.
So let me ask you a question, the Kupang damsel. A lot of people confuse them with the yellowtail. There's one out of the two that is more docile and is better for the reef tank.
They say this is the one.
This is the one?
But they're still pretty, I mean, they're a damsel. They're still pretty aggressive.
Yeah, not as bad as the dominoes of the...
No, those are the big, tall body, like the
those will go after you.
The cloudy damsel, the dominoes.
So these fish get bad rep because of those fish. These are in between. They're not as docile as a chrome is, but they're not as mean as a domino damsel, right?
That's like saying a mako shark versus a cat shark, right? They're both sharks.
They're both sharks. Poor fish, man. I'm trying to save you guys. All right, so that will cover most of the fish. So we talked about the flow, talked about the light, Josh. Corals, mainly Acro dominate. We talked about the corals we like. Filtration, protein skimmer in here?
Yep. There's a Regal 200.
Okay, and UV sterilizer?
40 watt.
You say you had a little story about that UV sterilizer.
Yeah, we'll put in this video. It's a quick clip. Christian sent me a picture of it. It got hot and it melted through the actual body of the UV and it leaked in the perfect spot right behind the skimmer, right into the sump.
So something to be said, we just had a similar issue in the 1500, we caught it on time.
Yeah.
Maybe these UV sterilizers, they need to be scheduled for like...
They are on a schedule to be taken care of, but somehow either the flow wasn't moving through it the way that it was supposed to, or something broke and it got hot and it melted, but
it's scary when we're running electricity and salt water. Not just water, but salt water. It's more conductive, right?
Worse than that, the only barrier between the electricity and the water is glass.
Scary.
Thin glass.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Me and Josh, it's been a while. We haven't been here in detail looking at this tank. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Post some comment below if you have some questions. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. We'll see you guys on the next episode.